Hello there, this is the Bookkeeping Master on YouTube. Welcome to this video. I recently was asked a question, how to account for refunds on QuickBooks Online, hence this video. I want to give a very detailed response, so I'll go through a number of scenarios in this video, but by the end of this video, you'll know how to account for refunds using QuickBooks. The first thing to mention is your QuickBooks Online may look a little different to mine. That's absolutely fine. It just means that QuickBooks has updated its layout, its appearance since making this video. It could be that your sidebar is white. It could be you have fewer or more options in this sidebar than I do. It doesn't matter. Even though the layout may look a little different, the colors may be different, the appearance is different, the process of accounting for refunds is going to be the same, so you'll be able to follow this tutorial. Okay, scenario 1 is we need to account for a refund made to a customer. And this customer is not on the customer's list. So we have a customer's list here, and these are our credit customers. So another way of putting this is we need to account for a refund that's not a credit customer. And a good example of that would be a retail shop that has customers come in, buy something, and now and then a refund is going to be made. So how do we account for that refund? Well, if you're using the banking transactions, the banking feed, go to banking transactions, find the line of the refunds. Let's say it's this one here for £50, could be €50, $50, it doesn't matter. We select the transaction, and in account, we select the relevant refund account. And you have a few options here. It could be that you want to create a refund account that's under the sales category. It could be that you want to create a refund account as an expense, or it could be that you want to post the refund to sales. It's really up to you. It doesn't matter which of those three it goes to. It just depends where you want refunds to show when you run reports, such as the profit and loss statement. Do you want refunds to show as an expense, or do you want them to show as or against sales? So if I type in refunds here, you'll be able to see that I created a refunds account as other income. So the total refunds on my software will show within the sales area of my reports. That's how I like it. So I click on refund, I select whether there was sales tax or not, and I click add. And that refund has been accounted for. Hopefully nice and easy. Now it's the same with suppliers. So if we've received a refund from suppliers, how do we account for that? Well, once again, we have a £50, could be €50, $50 transaction here. We simply choose the relevant account and the tax account and click add. Now, what is the relevant account going to be? I suggest you use the account that the expense was originally posted to. So this £50 was originally an expense for software, then post the refund we've received as software. Choose the relevant tax account, click add, and that's been done. How do we account for these refunds if we're not using banking transactions, if we don't have a banking feed? Well, that's when we need to use a journal. So we go to the top left here, click new, and journal entry. We simply need to account for the money we've received, the refund we've received or the refund we've paid as a journal. So select the date. Let's say this happened yesterday. On line 1, choose the bank account that the refund was paid from. So let's say this is a refund to a customer. So this is the Barclays bank account. Under credit, type in the refund amount. So we'll do 50 again. Refund for whatever. Choose the relevant tax percentage, if there is one, That's line 1 done. And what we're telling the software is £50 has come out of this bank account. On line 2, we want to select the relevant refund account again. So this could be the refund account under sales or refund as an expense. So I type in refund. It will do the other side of the journal for me. So debit, £50, the same description. If I click save and close, then that refund has been accounted for. And what it's going to do is account for £50 out of the bank account against the refunds account. So exactly the same thing we did here with banking transactions, but it's a journal entry. Now we do the same thing if it's a refund received. So let's do a refund received this time. So choose the relevant bank account. This time it was received. It's going to be a debit. So choose the account, do a debit entry. Debit's for received into a bank account or cash account. Type in the amount. Once again, select the relevant tax if there is tax, and then select the relevant expense account. So sticking with the whole software example, we've now got 50 credit for software and 50 debit for the bank account. Now when I click save and close, what's this going to do? It's going to account for £50 received into this bank account and 50 against the relevant expense account. Okay, so scenario 1 and 2 ticked off whether you're using a banking feed, bank transactions, or if you're not. If you're not, you need to use those journal entries. Okay, what's another scenario that we could be in? Another scenario is we need to refund a customer, and the customer is on our customer list. So on the customer list, we have example customer 1, and on their account, we have an invoice here for $2,000, which is outstanding. Let's say this invoice was paid, but the customer paid $2,300. So they overpaid by mistake. So what's going to happen now is we have 300 negative on this account. We owe this customer £300. Now it could be that this £300 is going to be used against a future invoice, and then that's okay, we can leave it as it is. But if we've refunded this amount because they've overpaid back to the customer, how do we account for that? Because there's no refund option in here. How do we account for £300 return to this customer and make this account balance as 0? Once again, we go back to journal entries. So go new, click on journal entry, select the date that the refund was made. Let's say 20th of January. Okay, we can give the journal a number or not. It's up to you. You can give it some sort of reference. The account, once again, line 1 is going to be the account that the payment was made from. This is a payment to a customer, and it's 300 credit, so 300 out of the bank account or the relevant account that the refund was paid from. So refund to example customer 1. And then perhaps we can put in brackets overpaid. Line 1 done. What do we do with line 2? You need to find either the debtors account, or it could be accounts receivable. We've named one of them. Click on that account. It will do the debit for you and the description for you. Under name, you need to find the name of the customer's account you want the payment allocated to. So we have £300 coming out of the bank account and going to this customer's account. If I now save and close this, that journal is going to be posted. You can see the open balance is now 0, and you can see this journal entry is showing on their account. Your next step is to allocate these transactions against each other. So if you go to the payment and click View Edit, the journal entry that we entered should show. So you can tick on that, click Save and Close, and the account should be 00 and everything has been accounted for. So we have the payment showing and the refund. And because I'm so clever, I entered the refund with an earlier date than the payment. It's because I could see into the future. Okay, so that's the customer side of things done. If that was too much for you, rewind and watch that process again. It's all about entering a journal from the relevant bank account the refund was made from against the relevant customer's account using debtors or accounts receivable. If you're still struggling, then leave a comment below and I'll do my best to help you. Now, it's the same process with suppliers. So if we overpaid a supplier, and let's find a supplier here, perhaps example supplier 1. They have £500 outstanding on their account. So if we made a payment to this supplier on the 20th of 525, so we overpaid by £25, then we're going to have a negative 25 on this account. How do we clear this off once the refund has been received from this supplier? Once again, we do a journal entry. So go to journal entry here, select the date the refund was received, select the bank account that the refund was made to, and this time it's going to be debit. So received 25 into the NatWest account. So refund from example supplier, overpaid. And our second line, we don't want the debtors this time because that's the customers. We want the creditors. It might not show as creditors on your account. It might show as accounts payable. It could also show as purchase control. Select the supplier account. So example supplier 1 limited. So we have 25 debit into the relevant bank account and 25 against this supplier's account. If I now save this, the refund has been posted to our account, and if we find the payment here and click view, we can then allocate that payment against the journal, just like we did with the customer, and save that. And that's all done. It's quite a drawn out process, isn't it? I wish they made it a bit more simple. There should be like a refund option up here, but currently there isn't. Okay, let's move on to another scenario. And this one's going to be very quick. Okay, so we go to Dave here. Dave has an invoice outstanding for 2,000. Let's say we raise the credit note for 2,000. Let's just do that very quickly. It doesn't matter what I do here. Okay. So we raise the credit note for 2,000 and then we refunded Dave 2,000. How do we account for this? Because there's no balance on the account. There's no outstanding invoice because this credit note. Well, what we need to do is actually get rid of this credit note. If you're going to send funds back to a customer, you don't want a credit note. Credit notes are credits on their account that can be used at a future time or against invoices which are not going to be refunded in cash. So if you are going to refund that £2,000 or even part of it, you need to amend or delete this credit note. That's the answer to this scenario. And it's the same with suppliers. So if we have direct furniture here, and let's say this full amount, 1,014, we received a credit note for, so we entered that credit note on the account, like so. And then we received a refund from the supplier. What you actually need to do is delete that credit note. You can then record the refund as shown you previously using a journal entry. Okay, I've covered a lot. This is a very long video all about refunds. I understand that I may have gone through it very quickly. I understand your scenario may be a little different. So use the comment section below and I'll come back to you and help you. Thank you so much for watching. I have lots more content about bookkeeping, accounting, and also QuickBooks Online. Go check it out.